I know how to get more subscribers in the new year. Make a video that's 1 trillion minutes long. What is up, YouTube wanderers? My name is Kristen. I'm 24 years old and I've been making videos on YouTube since 2009. What? Cheers to being on YouTube for that long. If you're of legal age. I know most people think I'm 16, so honestly, you do you. So like I said, I've been making videos on YouTube since 2009 when I was a senior in high school. Weird. The year before I started making videos, I had taken a TV journalism class in my high school where I learned video editing, and it turns out that I really enjoyed it. I've also always been very theatrical. I've always been working towards the goal of being an actress, so really any chance for me to be in front of the camera creating a character or playing a character, that was the best deal. So following the timeline of how my YouTube channel unfolded, at the time a lot of my musical theater friends that I had gone to camp with or performed in shows with were starting to upload videos of them singing songs from musicals or pop songs on YouTube. And I said to myself, Kristen, you son of a gun, you need to hop on that. So I did, woohoo! At the time my channel was called Kristen Cakes, which would be its name for many, many years to come. To this day I can't tell you where I came up with the name Kristen Cakes from. All I can tell you is that for a while it was my screen name on AIM. But I kept on making singing YouTube videos for a long time, uploading performances and then sitting down and actually recording me just covering songs. And in that process I started to follow YouTubers and really get into the YouTube culture. I remember in the early days I was obsessed with iJustine and The Station and Toby Turner. I feel a little weird about that now. But for me that was like the golden era of YouTube. You know, it was all these personalities that were coming out of the woodwork and you were seeing them make these amazing things that normally you would only see on television. And then an important day came around, and that was the day that I saw one Charlie Is So Cool like on the YouTube homepage for his video Duet With Myself. If you guys have never seen that video, basically Charlie McDonald, Charlie Is So Cool like, recreated himself so that you could see him duetting with himself. And at the time, you know, nobody was really doing that on YouTube. It was a really cool thing and he did it really well and he could sing nice and played ukulele. I still to this day wish I could play ukulele. And I saw that video and I loved it. I loved Charlie and his personality, and I also loved the concept, and to me it presented a challenge in my brain of how did he recreate himself? And I kept on thinking and thinking about it, and the more that I thought about it, the more I knew I wanted to figure it out and try and do it myself. At the time I was working on a program that I had used for TV journalism, and it was called Pinnacle Studios, I believe, and Pinnacle was like, it was a good program, but it definitely took up way too much space on your computer, but it was the only thing I knew how to use. And so I just remember trying to figure it out, and then finally one day I figured out the most shoddy way that I could do it, and I was so proud of myself. So I sat down and I essentially wrote my first parody, now that I think about it. I rewrote all the lyrics to Duet With Myself to make it like a fun little quirky thing that was obviously touching on that this was Charlie's song, but that I was a fan and I wanted to try and recreate it. So my sister helped me sync up the music and kind of acted as my sightline, and I recorded the video and I edited it and I uploaded it as a video response to Charlie. Ah, back in the day when video responses were a thing. YouTube really needs to bring that back. That was a mistake. And little did I know that this would mean that it would get thousands of views. To this day, my Duet With Myself recreation is the top video on my channel. I think it has over 165,000 views, something like that. To this day, I also have no idea if Charlie McDonald ever saw it, but you know, if he ever does or ever sees this video, thank you, Charlie. Because what that did was it gave me a baseline of subscribers. So many people watched it and they commented on it and they ended up subscribing to my channel, and it made me want to make more videos. And that really triggered me to start uploading the sketch videos I had made, or record new ones, or make little rants and kind of stray away from just singing videos. I remember my first successful sketch video besides the Duet With Myself, I don't even know if it came before the Duet With Myself, but was when I made a rant about the video service Uvu, which is pretty much Skype, but at the time I was using Uvu to like talk with my friends that were at college as I was a senior in high school, and like I hated the service and I made a video about it, and Uvu ended up contacting me asking me to like make a video for them for a commercial. The early days of YouTube were just so full of opportunity. So I started doing that. I basically started making vlogs before there really even was a term for vlogs, but I was enjoying doing it, and it was basically getting all of my creative angst out. So skipping ahead, I graduated high school in 2010 and I go to college. Ooh. And at college I knew that I was going to continue making videos. I still was making some singing videos at this point, so I uploaded a bunch of those, and I was still trying to make some sketch videos. And then came another big moment, one of the things to change it all on my channel. One day I was sitting in my visual aspects of theater class and I wasn't totally paying attention because we were talking about lighting and the room was very dark and I was getting very sleepy. I'm sorry, Bill. Bill was my professor. And I started thinking about what video I would make that day. And before I knew it, I just started writing down little random ideas that I had, and I decided that I would call this little segment that I was doing for the day Maddening Mondays. And when I got back to my dorm, I started recording it and I asked my friend Cameron at the time to be a part of it. And before I knew it, I was also asking Phil that lived on my hall and Nick that lived on my hall and all of these people that were living on my hall in my dorm room to be a part of these videos. And it was the best. It was this fun, new, fresh, creative thing that I was doing that was getting me some views on my channel and was also really bringing me closer to the people that I was like living with on my dorm. It really was kind of this weird bonding experience. And they would help me brainstorm new ideas and we'd come up with things with one another and it was just a really, really great time. The beginning of Maddening Mondays was just such a different experience because not that it's not fun now, but it just included so many people, which is what I loved about it. And like I said, it was actually getting me some new subscribers. People were finding my channel and it was cool because people seemed to really enjoy them on the internet. So I continued doing that while also trying to make sketch videos and singing videos and also, you know, doing the school thing, getting my theater degree. At some point during college, I think it was my sophomore year, I also ended up joining a collab channel for a little while called The World's Nerds. And while that didn't garner a lot of views, it was super fun because it was one of the first experiences that I had where I was really interacting with other members of the YouTube community. Because that was the major thing that was changing when I was in college, is YouTube was starting to get a really active community. And I think the next big shift in my channel didn't come until I had to leave school. If you don't know why I had to leave school, there's a whole video that I made about it. I'll put it in the bottom bar below, but the too long don't read version of it is it was too expensive, I couldn't afford it anymore, and I had to come home. And pretty much at that point I decided that I was not going to go to another school for the meantime and that I was going to try out the acting thing because none of my theater credits were going to transfer and I was also very emotionally distressed about it. And so that's when YouTube really started to become a very important thing to me. Because when I left college is when I said to myself, okay, we're really gonna try and make this YouTube thing work. I stopped recording videos on my webcam and got my Canon 60D that I still use now. I tried to make my lighting better and I tried to really cultivate a community, like turn my Tumblr kind of into a business, and I also started writing parodies. And some of that stuff worked really, really well. I got very lucky in that the BBC America saw my Doctor Who for Dummies video and they ended up posting it all over their Tumblr and their page, and I also made a parody that ended up on their 11 best videos of the year. The Royals parody that I did about a year later got a ton of views. People on Tumblr loved it. I was really able to get people to watch it through tagging on there and the community that I had built on there. I was really having fun making those videos and I was really starting to gain ground with an audience and with just YouTube. But timing is sometimes a bitch because this is also when everybody started to become a YouTube partner and people were really realizing that YouTube was the place to be, and so it became infinitely harder to gain subscribers or gain notice from YouTube. We got rid of video responses. They were really only featuring on the homepage people that already had a lot of subscribers because it was what was going viral, and overall that sense of what it means to go viral was really being impacted on YouTube because those were the people that were getting the views and not a lot of other videos were getting promoted or pushed forward to potentially become viral. While the community grew, and that was a really good thing, the culture changed and the way that YouTube and the algorithm was working was changing. For smaller YouTubers like me, it wasn't beneficial. It's weird looking back now because if 5 years ago I said I have almost 9,000 subscribers on YouTube, that would be considered a really big number. And while in my brain it is considered a big number, now in the YouTube grand scheme, I am a speck. I was at the YouTube space a good couple of months ago and I got to meet this kind of big YouTuber and we were talking. He didn't know who I was, but he also had no idea how many subscribers I had, and we ended up getting down to the numbers. And when I said, oh yeah, no, I'm struggling with some numbers, and he's like, oh yeah, me too, it's, you know, it's hard to gain more subscribers, and I was like, yeah. He's like, how many do you have? And at the time I was like, oh, I have about 8,500. He gave me this look like, why am I even talking to you? Because now in the business community of YouTube, if you're calling yourself a small YouTuber, they think you have between 50,000 to 100,000 100,000 subscribers. That is a small YouTuber. Which in my brain, having been on this site for as long as I have, is just crazy to think about. Like, it's so weird that that is the new normal. But it is. I can't even blame them because there are thousands upon thousands of channels that have over 100,000 subscribers. And so it's just, that's the way the numbers work now. And it sucks because it makes a lot of YouTubers, I think, that have been on this site for a while feel devalued. Like, feel like the only thing now that matters is the numbers. And obviously that's not true. Which I guess brings us now to where I am now, which is almost at 9,000 subscribers. I make 4 videos a week. I try to at the very least. And I'm super lucky in a lot of ways. I have done remarkably well on Patreon considering how many subscribers I have. I've done so well over there and I'm able to make a nice little chunk of money there that makes me feel safe. I really do have a very active audience of people that are so engaged and comment on every video and care of what I'm doing, and they follow me on all social media platforms, and some of them have been following me for years now. I'm completely in control of my content. I own all of it and I can make pretty much whatever I want. But I think the caveat here is that now if you want to be somebody that makes money on YouTube, you do need to look at it so much like a business and so much like a brand. It can get really hard sometimes to not get caught up on that, to not get caught up in the numbers and be like, if I don't raise my numbers, then I'm not going to get any sponsorships. So what content can I make to get sponsorships? And then start making content that is not actually what you want to be making, that's just what you think people want you to be making. And it's stressful. It's really stressful because it's every day people are making new YouTube channels and people are gaining new views and you never know what's gonna hit, and some people just go viral and get lucky, and then sometimes you're just like, where is my video and why isn't it getting views? Which brings me, I guess, ultimately to why am I still on YouTube? It's weird because this is a question that nobody has ever asked me or ever trolled me with or anything like that, but it is a question that I am constantly very worried about and worried that other people are thinking around me. Like, sometimes I'll get super sweet comments that really, they don't offend me at all, but they'll say things like, I can't believe that you don't have like millions of subscribers by now. I can't believe that. You're so great. You make such great content. And then I sit there and I can't help but be like, I can't believe it either. But unfortunately, that's just not how YouTube works. It's not how it works anymore. It might have worked at some point in that way, but it's not like that anymore. So when I look at my numbers occasionally and get stressed out about them because they're not the millions of views that some people get, I really ask myself, like, why am I still making the videos? What are my goals? And for me, the most attractive thing about this website still is the ability to make content that I really want to make, to be who I am on this website and talk about what I want to talk about and have a community of people there that want to discuss it with me. For me, there's just no other place that I would rather my work live on. I feel so fulfilled when I make a parody that I love. Those videos, it does not matter if anybody watches, I love them and I just want to post them and put them out in the world and feel good about them. It's the same feeling that I get when I make a really good sketch video or I make a sit down Sunday that I feel like I made a really good argument in. There's something so therapeutic about that and so just, it just makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside, and I think that's why I'm still making YouTube videos. I think that, along very much with the community, is why I would like to do this full time, because right now we live in one of the most special eras that we have had so far, because we can talk to people all over the world. We can talk to people all over the world we may never meet, but who we happen to share something in common with, and that is a really beautiful thing. And I want to do that. I want to make these videos and I want to share my experiences and hear about your guys' experiences and just chat. I just can't shut up. See what I did there? And that is why I am determined and why I tolerate the business aspects of this and why I still push forward and honestly work my ass off. I work my ass off for this channel because I think those interactions and making my own art and having my own voice heard is worth it. And YouTube really has done amazing things for me. When I left college and and I felt so lost, YouTube was the one thing that I knew I really wanted to do, and I knew I really wanted to focus on, and I knew I had a community, and it really was such a saving grace at the time, honestly. I've used YouTube to strengthen relationships with my friends. I've used it to evaluate my own opinions and really think things out and look inward. And honestly, YouTube has awarded me so many opportunities that you guys don't even know about. Like, I've gotten countless acting jobs from YouTube. I once made it to the final casting of King of the Nerds. I had never auditioned. They found my YouTube channel and they asked me to be a part of the final casting, and I almost made it onto a damn TV show just based off of this channel because somebody saw it and they thought I was engaging. YouTube has given me a lot, and I'm very grateful, and I'm very excited to push forward, and in the future I want to make more parodies. I want to make more sketch videos. I want to keep on voicing my opinion with you guys, and I just want to entertain people, make them laugh, make them think, and do all the things that artists want their work to do for another person. If you're lonely and being bullied, I want you to know that I'm your friend. I want you to know that I'm here and I understand it and I've been through it and here I am. And there are so many things. I mean, there are so many more things that I want to do that I could mention at the end of this video, but the ultimate thing to take out of this is that the journey is not over. If I remain a speck on the YouTube grid for the rest of my life, that will be okay, because I work hard and I'm really proud of the content that I've made on this channel and the content I'm still making on this channel. From the grainy juvenile duet with myself video in 2009 to my most recent videos now. But that, my friends, has been the journey so far. And I thank you guys, whether this is your first video watching me or you've been watching me like basically grow up on this channel for the last several years, for joining me and subscribing and watching my videos, because it means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. So that is that. I guess I should mention that if you want to help me make this a more full-time thing, you can go over to patreon.com/shutupkristen, which is a tipping and rewards website where you basically can donate money on a monthly basis or make a one-time donation, and you'll get certain rewards and perks and behind-the-scenes stuff for doing so. Right now, all the tiers on my Patreon page are named after Harry Potter spells, so there's that. Otherwise, just hitting that subscribe button and liking these videos and sharing them with your friends does so much for me. Like, it does way more than you could possibly imagine. And if you want to find me on other social media, my name is @ShutUpKristen everywhere, because got that URL like 2 years ago and never turned back. And otherwise, I love you, lovely beans, and I will see you in my next video and many, many, many more videos after that. Bye!